Aloha, friends and neighbors. Rollin here, Kona Astrologer. And I'm going to go through the last week in February 2016 on program 1003. By the way, there's a Monday, February 29th. That's the extra day they're tacking on this calendar, which is quite imperfect. So your birthday will drift back and forth a day. Your real birthday, that is, depending on leap year stuff. Anyway, we're going to do the last week in February and go through the next 10 days so that you may better plan what's coming up. Come on, let's go. Every week I draw out this little Earth in the center of the chart, and I'm trying to draw the North American continent. The ouch? What's that? That's someplace around New York. That's the April 20th Maui that we're going to discuss later on in the show. But for now, let's get busy on the sky mirror and see what's coming up, huh? I've got a nice chart all drawn up for you. Still got the Uranus-Pluto square here, and it's noticeable that the Sun is still squaring Mars as you begin your week. So there's a little impatience and angriness going on. Can't help it, huh? There's some nice trines, however. Here's Saturn trining Uranus. Very nice. And we're all learning more about lead. Lead is Saturn, okay? And astrology, alchemy. And lead slows you down, makes you old quicker. And lead in the drinking water is something I've spent the last 25 years in public health about. It's all about lead on Kauai after a Niki. It's all about lead. Well, anyway, I am one of the world's experts on lead. And read Dr. Needleman. It's easy to remember Needleman. He's a dentist. And he's the courageous man who analyzed kids' teeth and checked out their school behavior and found out that lead, diminishes IQ permanently. And since then, a lot of idiots in public health have argued, well, maybe there's a limit. You can take a little bit of lead, but, other people have said any lead at all in a kid's brain until their skull is fully formed, diminishes their IQ a little bit of lead, a little bit of IQ loss. Anyway, this truth is coming out, and it's interesting for me because I see all this lead poisoning. You can drink lead if you're an adult. Take some lead. The Romans sweetened their wines with lead. You can take a lot of lead. You don't get hurt right now. The worst case, you get a big dose of it, you'll have nightmare. Believe me, I know. And if you regularly have more lead in your environment, you'll get old faster. But for the kids, oh boy, it's plutonium in the brain. And when they first started all this thing about Flint, Michigan, all you heard was lead poisoning, lead poisoning. These are from people who are ignorant of the real dangers of lead to the kids. That's why we took the lead out of gasoline, huh? Anyway, enough about Saturn. But Saturn is lead in alchemy. Its opposite, Jupiter, is tin. Yeah, lead and tin mix together pretty well and make pewter. There's all kinds of different percentages, and you still see that metal in your world. Well, let's look at your world more closely, huh? We're going to run the moon around the planetary pattern, and as it makes angles to these other planets, gives us the mood of the times. It's not your chart now. This is a generic chart. Okay? And let's see, if you're on the Thursday night show, well, the moon's in Cancer, but it's squaring Uranus, and it's jittery, and it's opposing Pluto. And here's your old, Freaky Friday thing has now moved back into Thursday night. It moves one day every month. So here we are having a difficult Thursday night. And it's just the way it is. Friday morning's better. Friday morning we got Jupiter here and Mars. They're in sextile. Some truth and wisdom comes in after you get... Well, let's look at this more closely, okay? If you got Thursday night jitters, and you're feeling freaky. Eek, a bug, I'm all alone. Well, that feeling comes up here. Let's see, this is 2 a.m. It's about midnight, 10, maybe 6, 8 o'clock. You'll get the, eek. But just after that, an hour or two after that, is the sextile to Jupiter. And there's wisdom and wise. Oh, now I see it clearly. And it kind of diffuses some of this, eek, a bug feeling Thursday night. Just wait. Friday morning on the 19th, there's a nice sextile to Mars. Get a trine to Mars. Get out there and get some physical stuff done. Charge out and all be heroes. Yeah, it's nice Friday morning. Friday afternoon, the moon shifts into Leo, and it changes. Friday night, Venus's night, by the way. There's an opposition to Venus, so there's no sweets, no sex, no pleasure. Can't get no satisfaction Friday night. Might as well stay home and stay warm. Moon in early Leo. Saturday, the moon's still in Leo, fixed fire sign. Starts with a opposition to Mercury in the morning, and kids are too loud, can't communicate, hard to get around. It changes drastically very late Saturday night when the moon hits the middle of Leo, because it hits the sextile or the trine to Saturn first, and then it hits the trine to Uranus, and you'll learn more about lead and more about other interesting things. But there's some Republicans are going to turn environmentalists. Geez, what happened if Trump, guaranteed to fight global warming? My God, suppose he decided to defuse the American military, and stop all these overseas wars and work on the environment. Whoa, a landslide. So Saturn is the Republicans and guys like Trump, bankers. Uranus is the New Age environmental spirit of we all are one and this is one world. And so here they are in harmony. Saturn trining Uranus. Unheard of. Saturn's management, Uranus's unions. And here they are in harmony. Something going on. Sunday morning, here's square to Mars. You're ticked off. You're irritated. If you go at rush at stuff Sunday to try to get things done, rushing doesn't work. Take it easy Sunday. Take a day of rest. Time you get to Monday, there's a new moon. Or full moon, rather. It's a full moon at 4 degrees of Virgo. It opposes Neptune. Yeah, over here, old Neptune's been sitting at, where are you, Neptune? Sitting over there kind of quietly aside. It's the oil companies. It's the bad smells. It's the fake phonies in our government that are... Anyway, the full moon Monday morning, take it easy, especially if you're dealing with liquids or people who are all shiny and bright, Pisces kind of people. Half of them are phonies. Yeah, half of the doctor, priest, artists, musicians are kind of phonies, glitzing it up. You believe them, don't you? Well, the guy was in the health department. He said the water was okay. He was a Neptune character, holding on to his rice bowl, doing as little as possible. They used to laugh at the priest, that examined the guy's hands, and if his hands were all soft, he didn't work. That meant he was a privileged person. Neptune, huh? So, soft hands, beware. Anyway, you're not going to like it all Monday. There's problems with liquids. Around your house and your home, you'll have problems with liquids that'll crop up. And they will tend to continue for the next couple of weeks kind of strongly, because this is a full moon. There's a little confusion here. Yes, on the 22nd of February, moon in Virgo. It changes totally on Tuesday. As you go into Tuesday, here's Jupiter, hooray, wisdom, truth, lightning bolts, and Jupiter's there with the North Node. Lots of mothering and nurturing. Starts with a nice trine to Pluto here in the morning. Discovery happens in the morning at breakfast. And after lunch, people are laughing and celebrating. It's Tuesday, hooray! Now, Jupiter, normally a really good guy, is in trine to Pluto. He's in cahoots with Pluto. So Jupiter might give you truth about guns. No, it's not guns. That's like saying all drugs are bad. All guns are bad. No, no, rifles, long guns are good. They're good. It's the pistols that are bad. If the NRA said, we're going to take away your pistols, they wouldn't get the political crap, the beef, the meat that they do, huh? It's word magic again. You know, we don't want to take away your guns. Everybody should have guns. In Scandinavia, everybody goes through the army, women, men, 6 months of training or so, and they all take their AR-15s home, put them in the closet with the ammo in the attic. Everybody in Scandinavian countries is a soldier with a weapon. They're not pistols, okay? The Constitution guarantees us arms. It doesn't say pistols. So get rid of pistols. Come on, get truthful. Jupiter trine Pluto, wisdom. Pistols. The kids are using pistols as it's a high accident rate. It's a safety matter for me. Easy to decide. All the accidents happen with pistols. Get rid of pistols. Okay? Wisdom for Tuesday, February 23rd, goes into Wednesday the 24th too, with the moon in Virgo. Here's nice sextile to Mars. Get out and get something done. Feels good, huh? Yeah. You know, fix something. Act on your new wisdom. Wednesday in the middle of the day, the moon goes into Libra, a fixed air sign, and it feels pretty good at first, right through Wednesday into Thursday morning. Here's a nice sextile or trine to Venus, and you know, there's sweets, and you feel loving Thursday morning. Very nice. As you go to Thursday afternoon, here's a nice sextile to Saturn, and we got some. Well, this is laws, huh? Here's the Republicans thinking it all out. The trouble is, they think they got you got a plan? Major plan here with Saturn, huh? And Mercury's there. You can talk about it, write it down, and everything. But look at that. Here after dinner, here's 6 square to Pluto. The police said, no, stop, eek, a bug, panic. And then here late at night, about 11, 12 o'clock, here's the opposition to Uranus, and the power goes out, and the unions aren't going to play with this game. Management had a good plan, but the unions, eek, eek, eek. That's funny. That was an emergency call. My last DVD went to the TV station, and the post office cracked it in half. So what you heard was the alarm bell going off. Anyway, you'll get alarm bells here Thursday night, and maybe a little bit late too, when you feel like you have trouble sleeping Thursday night. Well, the moon's opposing Uranus, and that's just the way it is. On Friday, the 26th, there are no angles, so you know, if you can get over your upsets of Thursday night, Friday will tend to mellow out a little bit. You get to Saturday, the 27th, the moon shifts into Scorpio, a water sign, a fixed water sign, and Saturday, about dinner time and just after dinner, there's a nice trine to the Sun and Neptune. So here's music and art, and now everybody's going to want to do Neptune here. They're going to drink, you know. You'd be better off, sitting under a tree and looking at flowers or reading Jesus. But people do drink, and that makes them more compassionate. I guess that's the key. So, more compassion, and you'll feel compassion here Saturday, and especially in the evening and around dinner time. So that's something to, help your enlightenment. Neptune is an enlightenment planet. Yes. Sun's on Neptune. Very nice enlightened time. Sunday, moon still in Scorpio. Starts with the square to Venus in the morning. No rest. Can't stay in bed too late. Nope. There is a trine to Pluto. Or it's a sextile. So there's some discovery Sunday morning. I like ancient aliens, but the buggers, everything they talk about, even the Antikythera mechanism, is for astronomers. These slippery Neptune characters are so afraid of astrology that they substitute the word astronomy. And so the astronomers did this, they studied astronomy. No, it's just like, King James did the Bible for you and took out the word sky and put in the word heavens. Well, our modern scientists have taken out the word astrology and put in the word astronomer. And look out. So anyway, it's Mercury's not happy with this sort of thing. The moon squares Mercury Sunday afternoon and evening. And this word magic is no fun. Now, Monday morning, okay, the leap year, the 29th, the moon's going to go by Mars. It's before lunch, by and large, but it'll flavor the whole day. And, you know, if you want to do some physical work, great. If you're going to get impatient and angry and be pissed off, look out. Ask yourself what you're protecting on leap year day, huh? Okay, I had some more ghost stories for you, but this comes first. I got to spend the next 2 or 3 shows maybe detailing out this prediction about an attack on New York City around April 20th. And I want to do the details on it because there's a lot of astrologers watching on the internet and things, and they have to learn how to do this sort of thing because I'm not going to keep doing it forever. At any rate, I was out here looking for hurricanes and bad weather for the Hawaiian Islands, and all you folks in Hawaii that have been watching the show, you're used to that, huh? The astrocartography and the map I put up on the and the little lines that run across it and stuff, and that's how I initially got started on this prediction, was looking for hurricanes, and suddenly there was something funny going on, and it started with the February 22nd full moon, and then there it was again, and March 23rd, and again on the new moon on April 7th, and on the final moon was April 22nd. So first, you know, there's several parts to detailing this prediction and why I'm kind of solid on it, and it'll be fun for you to learn it a little bit. Now the first stage is you're kind of used to it, but I'm going to go through it and show you what it looks like, okay? Okay, here's the first map. This is February 22nd full moon. And hey, look at that. Here's Mars on the descendant. You can use these things for a lot of stuff, like here follows a whole month, and here's where the fires will tend to be down that Mars on the descendant line. But I'm coasting around kind of looking at this, and what I found was here's some interesting lines running up through the New York area. And the one on the left is Jupiter. It's on the bottom of the chart. The one on the right is the North Node. The North Node on the bottom of the chart means the South Node is on the top of the chart. And here's New York. The South Node on the top is in the public space of, oh, we need help. That's interesting. So I better check the chart itself. Okay, so I set this chart for New York. So here's the way the full moon sets up in New York City. And sure enough, here's Chiron, the wounded healer, up on the top of the chart. But moreover, here's the North Node at 2145. And the midheaven, the public space, is at 2224. Well, that's only 39 minutes off. The South Node is on the very top of the chart. And then I noticed this. What's this? Here's Pluto. Yes, here's the ninja, the saboteur, here's the terrorist, Eek, and he's over here on the 7th house cusp. Wow. Wow. Now these things, you know, we learned before, when you're looking at weather and hurricanes and volcanoes and Pluto stuff and Neptune, all of these things, they have a reach of about 3 months. Okay, so I got to go look at some more. Well, now I'm on alert a little bit about this. And what do I see on the next full moon, March 23rd, but another line going through the New York area. And who is it? It's Pluto on the very top of the chart. And here again we have this, you know, terrorist mass death kind of a dude. Pluto is radical. We just call him an extremist, okay? And the simple way of looking at this is Pluto is policeman. And when you see Pluto on the top of the chart, what you're going to see out in public is policemen and guys with guns all over. Let's check the chart. Okay, here's the way that full moon looks in New York City, and sure enough, there's Pluto right up on the midheaven. Public policing, guns. You'd almost think New York started a open carry thing. But Pluto, it's noticeable, is trining Jupiter in the 5th house of children. And one wonders if the police and the guns are out here to protect children. I don't know, that's just conjecture. Gotta be careful here. All we really know is in the public arena, they're going to be looking at Pluto, huh? Okay, the next chart of interest came up, the new moon, April 7th, and looking at our problem area here, again we got Pluto up on the midheaven. Now the line has drifted off a little bit from New York, and this white line here is Mercury on the ascendant, and so, you know, we better check the chart on this one. Okay, April 7th in New York City, and here's how the new moon looks. And there's Pluto up there. Now, it's off the midheaven a little bit, but I've learned the hard way through Gauquelin. Other studies have shown this 5 degrees off an angle, 5 degrees this way, 5 degrees off this angle, 5 degrees off the angular house into the cadent houses is where the action really is. When I looked over here, oh look, here's a new moon at 18 Aries. It's squaring Pluto. Pluto is really, nobody wants Pluto around. And here's Uranus also squaring the midheaven and Pluto. And you know, there's the kids, there's mom, there's dad. Nobody wants these guns. Everybody says, eek, a bug. We got too many bugs here in New York City, too many guns, too many police, too many, eek, a scary thing, huh? And that's the symptom that's following April 7th new moon. Okay, next I go to this April 22nd full moon. I'm trying to find out how far this Ika-bug, this Plutonian experience, extends. And when I look at our problem area, here's Pluto, but this time it's on the rising sign. It's on the ascendant. This is like everybody. Oh, look at that. It's going right through New York, isn't it? Pluto on the rising sign. Every personal panic. It's not so much the public thing now. It's like everybody is kind of forced into some survival mechanism of some kind. Well, I better check the chart on this one. Well, here's the chart in New York, and you know, thankfully we don't see a lot of public stuff going on. And why are people feeling like self-control or their power and control over their lives is threatened? Well, there's a square down here to Venus and Uranus in the 3rd. You can't travel around, or it's in the neighborhood, or they're still feeling a little bit powerless about, here's power, here's Uranus at 21 squaring Pluto, you know, but it seems to have settled off, come off of the public area, and so I'm thinking that's a good thing. Now there's another component I want to talk about. And if you followed my adventures in predicting hurricanes, what I learned was that the planet you're working with has to be excited in some way. And there's 2 ways they get excited. One is by the lunations. New moons square and oppose them, or full moons square them. And, geez, there he goes again. This is some synchronicity, huh? That's a chainsaw off in the neighborhood. And every time I start working on Pluto, chainsaw pops up. I hope you can't hear it too loud, but I'm going to continue. Chainsaws are weapons of mass destruction too. Maybe if you just fired up a bunch of chainsaws in New York, you could soak up the karma. Anyway, 2 ways that they get excited. If you want to find them on that map I just did, and they all these lines, which of those planets are the ones that are going to pop up and be loud? Well, the full moons, new moons hitting them makes them loud. But the other thing is a station. When these planets move up, they slow down, stop stations, stationary retrograde, and they go back. And they slow down and stop stationary direct and go forward. They're not really going backwards. It's the relative motion of the Earth going around and the other planets going around. I mean, it makes them look like they're going backwards. If you're driving your car alongside a train and the locomotive, and you put your foot on it, and you go faster than the locomotive, and you're catching up and going past it, makes the locomotive look like it's going backwards, doesn't it? It's not really going backwards. It just looks that way. So anyway, what I did is I decided that April looked like a good hunting ground, and I wanted to find out if any planets were acting up, and I found two. And the disconcerting thing was that one of them is Pluto. There he is. He stops and goes retrograde. My golly, it's on the 18th of April. Jeez. Is that the 18th? Yeah. And so I found from experience, you feel these 20 days before and 20 days after when one stops. If there was a little D there, he'd be going stationary direct going forward. But he's going retrograde, so the damage that he does here could last 6 months before we get over this chainsaw accident, so to speak. And then what else did I find? Look at that. Here's Mars. Mars is stationary retrograde at just about 8:54 Sagittarius. Now it happens that I know the rising sign of the USA government, and the ruler of the 10th house, which is Uranus, which is New York, is there at 8:50 Gemini. So Mars is opposing the ruler of the 10th house. And these two stations are the next piece of the evidence. I wanted to be clear and make sure you got those. Important stuff. Now I got a lot more to show you, and I'm out of time, so you got to wait till next week's show, and I'm going to detail out some more interesting things. And before I leave you, Sky Mirror Astrology, one word, all small letters, .com/TV. That's the website where you can get the last 5 or 6 shows. It's my website. You see a turtle looking up out of the sea at the stars. The only animal is constantly raising his head up and looking at the sky. My Amakua. Ha ha ha. Hey, airtime's free on public access. And here's a disclaimer. Nobody else is responsible for these words but Rollin.